Hello, everyone. This is Yonks with REtoken, the Real Estate DAO, and we are hanging out here on Sunday afternoon, and this is our second implementing Coordinape call here for our DAO. And for those that may or may not be familiar, Coordinape is a tool for DAOs that do. And to just go around the list here, I don't think that you all can see who's participating, and this is one of the things. Still looking for a producer to enhance the quality of our live streams here, but we've got Andrea, myself, Blurs, Ryan, Mrs. Yonks, Tyler, and Crush. So thank you everybody for joining us here today on this. So we're going to hop right in, and this is a tool again for coordination of and rewarding people for doing various things, and excited to explore and learn together how to make better use of this tool. So the approach that we're taking right now, and this is functionally the first time that we're using it, we created 4 teams, and this is a part of our relaunch strategy. Like last month, we really only had the core team and the dev team, content team, and the ambassadors. These are some new teams. And this is one of the things too, and I'll have this conversation. I think that we were a little bit, and I don't know what we want to call that. And where I was going with that is we were calling it the Mighty Launch Team, and then we kind of took a step back, and now we're looking at some other community platforms. But does anybody have any thoughts? Do we want to make that another circle? I mean, there's quite a bit of efforts going on around that. I think that we should, just to get some additional experience here, but I'm open for some thoughts and on that. Does anybody want to chime in? Mrs. Yonks, you're leading that effort. I'm gonna defer to you to chime in. It'd be earlier. So the circles, let's take a look here on the one that had spent the most time setting up the administration for is the ambassadors here. And it does look like that DAX has allocated some gives. So the way that it works is that you are allocated, and this is one of the things, this is one of the knobs that we can adjust and over time. We're not going to do that here for this first round, but over time, that's another conversation. So just going down the list, it looks like the only other person that's allocated anything on the ambassadors is Blackfire. And here's an easy way to do the allocation. So like one of the first things that you want to do, like this epoch ends at 10 a.m. UTC. And I think that I picked that time because it's like, gives everybody plenty of opportunity here at the end of day on a Sunday. And this is one of the things that we were having a little bit of conversation with before we went live is we're looking at doing a weekly. And Ernest, who isn't on right now, was talking about that he wasn't aware of any other DAOs that are doing a weekly epoch allocation. One of the reasons that I am interested in exploring the feasibility of a weekly epoch allocation, and an epoch is basically just a time cycle. I'm sure it probably means something more technical. Don't know what it is. You can Google it. And so I believe that we as people are creatures of habit. And that's one of the things here that we'll have a better understanding if this makes sense. But we've got a lot of stuff going on here in December. So let's actually just go through. So like, over here on the allocate, because most people aren't going to be doing the administration. So you can see here, the epoch 2 ends in 12 hours. So that's plenty of time, even if you're on the West Coast, to get that in on a Sunday evening. And again, we're looking at just rolling that on a weekly basis. This is, we intentionally put this implementing Coordinape call at the tail end of our core team call that just concluded. If you're watching us on YouTube, I would love to hear some comments or feedback or whatever. If you've used Coordinape yourself, would love to hear how that you all are using that. So over here, the way that you can allocate this, I mean, if you want to just do something really basic, and this is definitely not something that I would encourage you to do, is you just click this little weight, and then it automatically allocates to everybody. And it's not great programming here because it says -8, so it won't let me save it. So I'd have to trim down and take some away. So one of the main things that you can do right now is, like, just scrolling through this list, is you can definitely see some people have done a little some things as far as their profile goes, like having a profile. I was showing you my profile here at the start of this and getting your details in here, because if you're serious about being a and this is I'm just putting this out here. I don't know if it makes sense or not. And I think it was Ernest, and I mentioned Ernest of Gaia a second ago, but he was talking about a Web3 monk. And one of the bullet points on the we in our light paper, and we'll talk about that on our light paper working group on Tuesday at 6 o'clock Eastern time. But I put a little bullet point on there as far as who we are. We are Web3 monk badasses. I don't know if that resonates with anybody. I really like, for whatever reason, the monk aspect. So get your Coordinape profile updated. And one of the things too, that's another technical capability of this, and I'm going to actually do a little chime, or I'm going to do this on YouTube. And this is one of the things, if you're watching our YouTube, we do reward participating in our live stream. Give us some comment love, and we reward that with some REtoken. And I was just going to comment in there myself as far as the other Coordinape we're looking at. And this is one of the things that the better that you do engaging in other DAOs, because, like, we're all learning together. Every DAO operates differently. Nothing is the same anywhere, and the opportunity to learn more. And where I was going with that, I already showed you our ambassador circle, and Mrs. Yonks and I've already gone through the onboarding process, but Mrs. Yonks has also just barely started the onboarding process at BitDAO. And one of the things that I was going to show everybody here during this live stream is the permissionless aspect of Coordinape. And again, that's something that we'll probably want to look at implementing here whenever we are further down the path ourselves. So let me actually just go over here to that one, and I was going to nominate Mrs. Yonks so that she can participate over here real quickly as well. So looking at here, and go ahead.
I have a question. So I saw that Blur's opted out. I'm not sure if he's on this call. Yeah. Blur's, can you tell us why you opted out of that? You're somebody I would have wanted to give to because of the call and some other stuff you've done. Why do you opt out, or why does anybody opt out?
I think that's just how it's set up. I never opted out under my own volition.
Oh, okay. Because I just went in there, just check mine, and it said, I think the default is opt out, and you have to set it to opt in. So, but you were listed as, I think, the only member that had a profile going that opted out. So if that's not on purpose, then change that so people can give you stuff.
Yep.
And one of the things that I was going to comment on that, and this is another one of the knobs that we can tune and tweak, is the opportunity of, and let me just show here on like Mayor, for example. We have the opportunity to, it's pretty basic. So it's super simple. Are they admin? Forced opted out, blah, blah, blah. So it's very, very basic. Here's myself. So let me let Blackfire in. So the and again, this is another.
Why did you opt out, babe?
On which one?
It just, your profile says edit Yonks. It says opted out. Yes.
On which circle are you looking at? We have 4 circles.
Oh, the screen that you were just on, your profile said forced opted out. No, opted out. Yes. Whatever you were just looking at for yourself.
Well, the only person that's opted out of the ambassadors is currently Blackfire, and I do see that Blackfire hopped in here. We're just going through. Let me go back real quick. So that's something again that we can change from the circle settings as well. Like this epoch repeats weekly, and that's also something that we can adjust, I think, as far as automatically opting out. Let me look again here. Like I'm going to look at so forced opted out, no. So I don't know if that was just the default, but we can change these ourselves. But like right now, everybody's on the ambassadors, and I don't know if you're looking at another circle.
Well, you just had me up and it said opted out, forced opted out, no opted out. Yeah, so I was just wondering, can we just change everybody's defaults to opted in? And then if people don't give them anything, they just don't. But I mean, I don't want anybody to miss getting a thank you or a reward or a prize or whatever from somebody because they don't know that they're opted out.
Well, and this is something too that the team captains can kind of work with the people and do a little bit of hand holding. And this is something too where the
Is he down for everybody? He looks very pensive.
the more
Oh, we lost him completely now. Looks like we got Ms. Jonks and Crush as the host now.
Oh.
Yes, Crush, show us the light.
I don't know what to, I'm on mobile. I'm not sure what.
They're back again.
Oh, he's back. He's
Okay,
back.
okay.
Yeah, otherwise I was going to share, but looks like we'll let him get back on it. Yonks, you there? Let me get my screen going. Give me a minute.
Blurs to the rescue.
All right, let's, okay, now I can share. All right, screen share. All right. I believe you guys can see my screen.
Yep.
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay. Someone else has to drive verbally because this is my first time actually using Coordinape. So
you go to the right hand side, it says 100 REtoken left to allocate. So you see you click on that and that would automatically allocate to everyone. Now you go to select team. So you gotta go to select team. So click on the select team and you have to click all these people one by one.
All right. Okay, here we go.
So that's your team, but I don't know where I am. They made me opt out. I haven't opted out yet, but yeah.
Oh, I'm an admin. Can I fix that?
I gotta go to log into my account. I reckon I can do that.
You want me to wait?
Yeah, please.
Okay. I will wait. Let's
Is
Yes.
Coordinape all good for distribution of token for each ambassadors? Is that what we're using it for? Or how is it applicable? Just a little brief would help. Thank you.
Okay, well, someone needs to let Miss Youngson. I'm not a host. I can't let anybody in. Crush, can you try doing it from your phone?
Yeah, I don't see I am
I'm not a
opted
host
out.
right
I am
now.
not.
Okay.
It still shows Yonks as host and co-host.
Oh, geez. All right.
Admin.
We are experiencing technical difficulties.
Yes, we are.
Looks like
He's trying to connect the audio. We almost have him.
first opt out. No.
Oh, his poor internet. I have to do a GoFundMe for his internet.
Okay, I'm back again. You should be able to find me there.
Okay, let me refresh. Let me get the Zoom controls out of the way. Little F5 here, and I don't see you.
Okay. So, all right. So let me go to allocation. And I see I have 0 give. I can share my screen if you want.
Sure. Let me stop sharing.
Right. I hope you can see.
I can't see.
Outside is my audio back?
Your audio is
Yes.
back.
All right. Jason is back.
The internet. I'm on my mobile and sitting out in the Tesla right now. True story.
We are trying to figure out the coordinate, and I opted back in again. So I think I should be able to connect to the rest of the group.
So one of the things, Blurs, that we whenever you're doing your statement, your epoch statement, and this is one of the things that's kind of, and I don't know what that's going to look like, as far as some people provide potentially a more detailed epoch statement, and this is one of, I think, the biggest opportunity that we have as far as Coordinape is, I think it will really force us to be more intentional about thinking, how are we contributing to the DAO, to these teams that we're participating in, these circles in Coordinape, and then also allows us to be thoughtful as far as recognizing through the gives, because one of the things that I hope that we develop a good culture about, and this is one of the things that Mrs. Yonks was discussing a little bit as far as the culture that she saw at Token Engineering Commons, was it's a praise culture. And that's one of the things with Coordinape, being intentional about building up whenever we allocate other people, and just bringing recognition, because that's one of the things that we can do better as a society, is bringing recognition to people that we're engaging with. So like on the when you go to my epoch there, Blurs, or whoever's driving, are you driving, Blurs?
I am not, but Blackfire is.
Okay, so on your go to the my epoch, and that's where you put in the statement as far as what you did here, this one. So, and that's where, go ahead.
So yeah, I'm opted in.
Oh, because I was looking at core team, not
things
ambassadors.
I was working on.
So one of the things that was interesting, because I know that I had allocated some give to Blackfire, but I think whenever, and I don't know if that was something that you did where you toggled it from opted in to opted out or something like that, but I think that sent back the previously allocated gives that I had sent. So one of the things that happens when this is all said and done from an Epoch standpoint is it generates a CSV file. And then with that CSV file is where you can do the airdrop. And whether it's just like a one-to-one, or in this type of a scenario where we're talking about potentially budgeting. And this is one of the decisions that I would really like to make and then, put forward in some type of proposal officially to just, from a good DAO governance standpoint is, and I'm thinking the 250. So that's one of two decisions. And if you could make note of these decisions in some manner, Blurs, that would be great. So the budget and how much REtoken for each week?
Wait, time out. Yonks,
Go ahead.
can you let Mrs. Yonks in? She's got kicked out or something.
Oh yes, thank you for that. I again am on my mobile, so it doesn't do as good a job showing here.
And then what did you want me to take note of?
So we need to finalize on how much REtoken that we're going to allocate for this first round. So I've advocated in the past, and I think that this is a good number while we're learning this. We might find that, yeah, this is too much or too little, and but it's the majority of the core people that have been contributing and building that are participating in this Coordinape efforts anyway. So that being said, the amount of REtoken that we're going to allocate, and I'm still advocating 250, and if somebody else wants to, so the other one is if we want to create a fifth circle for the new platform team. And maybe that's just what we should call it, the new platform team.
Yeah, that's fine. We don't need to overthink it.
Are you talking about the mighty networking circles, or is this not?
Yeah, because we don't have that in here, and with the extra efforts that people are doing on that, like right now, we haven't talked about creating an incentive for the people that have signed up for Mighty Networks, and I think that we should absolutely incentivize people, because that's what we wanted to happen. Because you can't evaluate a tool if you don't sign up for it, right? Because that's a huge part of the experience, is signing up for a tool or joining the community. And then the opportunity, and because the goal with Coordinape is to move away from this manual, or not necessarily the goal, but to more automate rewards distribution, because that's been a huge pain point of mine. And that's one of the reasons that I'm behind on the airdrops, because it's all very manual. Like, we have no automation right now, and this is the kind of tool that makes it easier, because what this tool does is it generates a CSV, and then you can just copy that. Like right now we're having to do manual participation tracking, and then we're having to calculate that and use Google. It's a real pain in the ass, and I do a good job not bringing awareness to how much of a pain in the ass. But on the flip side, that's the reason that we haven't done airdrops for the last week or two, is because it's a pain in the ass. So
Hi, Jason.
Go ahead.
You know what? When I attended the Superfluid at the DAO hackathon, that's what it is for. It's very automated and seamless. You just have to set it up, and I don't know how you will link up the apps, but that's what Superfluid does. It sends it automatically. So check it out.
No, well, I'm very and I actually advocated during. So it's different though. Superfluid doesn't provide the variation. It's more for providing a consistent stream. Like we're talking about for this team captain, rewarding an extra 250 REtoken a week. So it streams a consistent amount. What Coordinape does is it allows you to, through this group consensus mechanism, say, okay, well this person's here, but they're really not contributing anything. And so they really shouldn't get the same amount every week. So Superfluid is more for streaming the same amount on an ongoing basis. Like imagine like when we're talking about developing our processes for tokenized real estate, the opportunity to set up a superfluid for the rent for the tenant of the tokenized real estate, so they only have to set that transaction up. That's a great scenario of superfluid. But like in the situation of Coordinape, different people are going to be doing different things. Like, you know, life happens, and like life is always a priority over work. So like, you know, if something comes up and people have to like not contribute for a week, and that's kind of like why they have the opt out feature too. But or if somebody's just like, you know, not really delivering on what they're supposed to be, the opportunity to do, you know, give, not allocate the gives to them because that they're not really delivering. So that's the various, because not all people contribute at the same levels, and this is where Coordinape allows people to use discretion. And this is, from my understanding, that the more seasoned DAOs provide more gives to the people that have been more seasoned within the tool. But we'll have more conversations about that as far as garnering this experience together. And this is another thing too, like if you're interested in participating in some other DAOs, I could absolutely make some short list of some ones that I would recommend. But that's another conversation. The more that we learn and share and talk, and you know, talk about best practices, that's how and that's one of our founding principles is best
Hi,
practice.
Jason. Sorry
Yes,
to
go.
interrupt you. Teresa just texted me that she's in the waiting room, waiting for you to let her in. Thank you.
Yeah, so and that's another conversation that we'll have to have as far as the because I mean, we've only got 10 minutes left on this meeting, and people joining at the end of the meeting is sometimes a little disruptive to the overall workflow. But welcome. I saw that we had Teresa joined, and I think that B is also joining or something like that. So one of the things that I was on a side note that I was pleasantly surprised is that I think our live stream did not get disrupted about this. So apologies to everyone out there. One of the things that I alluded to earlier is that with where we're at here today, I'm probably going to look at doing a second Coordinape to, and I'm going to catch up with DSign and Dax because wanting to help do some admin with them as far as walking them through the process, as far as from the setting up the dev team and make sure that everything is all good. So the again, the epoch on this ends at, I think it's like 2 a.m. West Coast time, so 3 or 4 a.m. So everybody needs to go through and do the allocations. And when you're putting in the comments for people, this is a good opportunity, like Tyler was talking about. Put in some praise there, because and this is one of the things too, we'll get some better habits and better, you know, this is literally our first epoch and first real usage, and you know, we're still just barely starting to actually like develop some workflow and processes and cohesion as far as actually getting worthwhile stuff created here. And this is one of the things that's fabulous about how that we do our live streams, is that just through that exercise that we've been creating some content. And I think that that's one of the values of this, is that we're being transparent and then also inviting other people to join this process with us, share their experiences and their knowledge. And if they want to participate here, encouraging them to hop in and participate as well. So we're all learning together here, and we will continue to learn together here. Does anybody have any questions? I don't know how well that I'm going to be able to speak as far as answering those, but feel free. We've been practicing using the that private thread feature on Discord. I didn't really get to speak to that as much as that I would have liked here today. We'll be speaking more about that during the content team meeting. That'll be our second team for the content team tomorrow, as far as utilizing the private threads on our boosted Discord server. We have a lot more capabilities thanks to the supportive community. We went from like a level 1 Discord server to a fully boosted Discord server just here literally this week. So I think that that's just a confidence boost. It should be a confidence boost for everybody as far as what we have been doing. And I think that what we are continuing to do, people are still plugging in, showing up, wanting to learn together. And I think that that's just, if we're intentional about keeping things fun, making it fun, and continuing to learn together, that I think that that's what's causing people to show up. And that's what, I like having fun hosting these live streams. But I'm open for some questions as far as the Coordinape. I don't know if I'll have answers because I'm still learning this here too. Well, I'm not hearing any. I'm going to take a look at the chat as best as I can here on my mobile device. Can somebody check to see if there's anything on the live stream? Otherwise, I think that we should just work on wrapping this up. And like I said, the opportunity to potentially have around 1-2.5 or something, or whatever we want to call it later tonight. But I'll have that side conversation with D-Sign and Dax, and potentially anybody else that wants to have a redo a little bit where we could go through this and try to figure this out here. With hopefully, go ahead.
Oh yeah, so just looking at the live stream, Ernest was suggesting that maybe we create a Mighty Network circle, or maybe decide if we want to put into the content or the ambassador, because it kind of falls in between both. But we don't necessarily have to discuss that right now, but it's definitely something we should figure out.
I'm all for it, and I think I'm really liking, like you said, keep it simple. I think just doing a new platform team and just kind of lumping everything in there, because I think that will again just be a solid commitment to our creating a community that's platform agnostic. And the more that we can just think about anything as far as tooling, does this help us move in the direction of being platform agnostic? And whether it's looking at tools that we're spending money on or tools at implementing, and the more that we can have control over the conversations. And that's one of the big value propositions of like Mighty Networks and some of these other community platforms compared to a tool like, or a social media, like a true, and I would like to call these more of like a web 2.5. I think like Mrs. Yonks made a reference to the Web 2, like Facebook and stuff. And the problem with Facebook is that you don't own anything. Like if you build your whole like community around like a Facebook group or a Facebook page or, an Instagram following or a Twitter following or whatever the case may be, at the end of the day, you don't really own a community, and you can get rug pulled by Facebook or any other platform, or Google when they change their algorithm or whatever. So that's another conversation on the Coordinape. I think that we should do that, and I'll help Mrs. Yonks get that set up so that we can all get in some gives on that, and we'll move that probably. And I don't know, I think I still like the idea of having separate roles, because the opportunity for somebody to potentially lean into Mighty Networks potentially, and then somebody else to lean into another platform that we're evaluating here during this REtoken relaunch initiative. It'll just make it more granular. And that's, again, our commitment from reducing the Discord notifications and only receiving relevant notifications of things that you're specifically interested in. So are you going to be leading the new platform team there, Mrs. Yonks, Tyler? She might have had to drop.
Sorry, I just stepped away. Were you talking to me?
Yeah. So it's seeming like we want to do a new circle, the new platform team. Is that something that you're going to take on from an admin functionality standpoint?
I can. I had to check on the baby. I just wanted to see. I thought that we were going to make that in between ambassador and something else. Are we just making it its own thing now?
I think the opportunity of, just making it its own circle and just learning Coordinape, and if anybody is interested in potentially doing some Coordinape administration, feel free to reach out to Mrs. Yonks and myself, because the more we have no problem. We're all learning together. It's not too much opportunity to really screw shit up too much, because it's not a whole lot here, and we really want to figure this out. And the more people that figure out and are confident and comfortable using all of these tools that we're implementing here, the better off that we'll be, so that we can have a much more fruitful and hopefully scalable round 2 here in early January, after we've gone through a couple weekly epochs here in Coordinape.
I think that's pretty easy job. So I can take that on if you guys like.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's really looking, like I said, that we're going to do another follow-up conversation here later today, and we'll take that to Discord here. But looking at the time, we've got 2 minutes left, and I always try to be respectful of everybody's time, especially here on a Sunday afternoon, or unless you're on the down under like Blackfire. And thank you for popping on here. And
Yeah, it's like 4 in the morning there, so they're 4 or 5 in the morning.
Yeah, super early.
Yeah, it's pretty early. It's 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, you got a special PO app. Is DSign here? I want DSign to be in charge of all the POAPs from now on, or blurs, for either of you.
Yeah, I haven't
No.
got any co-op from them. But anyway.
Did I just get voluntold something?
So just consider this like an extra honeydew, because the circle back thing, I would like a follow-up one that says BRB for T. That would be wonderful.
Or when POAP.
I almost did when POAP. I was gonna use Amy's picture. But when POAP. Not that she says that, but she is the POAP person.
Oh Lord.
See, Amy,
Yeah,
this is what happens when you create a profile, then all of a sudden they got you, and then they start video. It's terrible, right?
So
Maybe
yes,
a Zoom
I'm
user
sorry.
reference.
We
I
do
feel
love
you,
having
people.
fun here.
We love you,
Well,
Amy.
Yeah,
Yes.
thanks, Amy,
I love
for
you all.
inviting.
I love you all. And I like that picture, Blackfire.
Thank you. That's the Lelouch Vivitania.
Is that an anime? Because my son loves anime.
Yeah, it's a Code Geass, one of my favorite anime in Japanese animation. Yeah, a big fan of anime.
Hey,
Yeah, and he
Blackfire.
always drags.
Hi, Taylor. Thank you, Taylor.
We just found out that one of the leaders of one of our favorite DAOs is on the other side of Australia. So we told him that I think he's in Eastern Australia, but so now I just feel like we need to spend more time down there. We got to go see you, and we got to go see him. We got to go all over the place. So I might be doing the Australia World Tour here in 2023.
Absolutely. It'd be good to connect. Absolutely.
We do true story. Already have a cruise booked heading out of Sydney in early 2023. So that's been on the calendar already for a good minute.
Yeah, definitely. I'll show you guys around Perth. Yeah, it's a nice and quiet place. I think you guys would like it.
Oh, super fun. Okay, guys.
Real quick, just wanted to plant the seed here, the window of opportunity. If anybody has been contemplating coming to Colorado for ETH Denver, if you're really serious about that, and you haven't already applied, it's probably almost wishful thinking unless you volunteer. But Tyler and I are going to be there in person. We are rocking the Bufficorn Biddle Brigade PFP NFT, which did give some priority access, and I'm definitely already got my and I think Mrs. Yonk's already got hers too. So if that's something that you all are thinking about, we could definitely plan a REtoken event that's coming up in February. The meat of that event is the 18th to the 20th, but there's stuff going on the 11th on that. But on REtoken, take a look at our Google Calendar. We've got 2 opportunities to plug in on Monday night, the content team, and then prior to that, the Circle SO conversation. And we'll be talking about this new platform team and some content strategy. And then besides that, the main thing is our weekly team call, 7 o'clock on Wednesday. But then also we're finalizing our white paper working group on Tuesday. We bumped the time up 6 o'clock Eastern. All this is on our Google Calendar. So great opportunity to, if you've been thinking about participating in REtoken, now's the time to get involved. We're doing our relaunch, so it's where you can functionally have some voice in, still have some voice in the foundation. I mean, we're building all of this framework so that we can really make real estate investing more accessible for everyone. And our white paper, we biddle passive income with real estate for everyone. We're going to be bringing a wrap to that on our working group. But Coordinape, thanks everybody again for hanging out on our implementing Coordinape call. Stay tuned on that for Discord. I may even make a role for just Coordinape here, but we can talk offline about that. I'd love to hear some thoughts from you on that if that's really necessary from some other people. But thanks again, everybody, for hanging out here today. Core team call and our implementing Coordinape. And even though we had some technical difficulties, thank you, Blurs and Blackfire, for stepping up. I was pleasantly surprised that the technical difficulties didn't cause the live stream to end. And I think I'm going to have to go in because I'm mobile right now. I don't know if I'll be able to make the host in the live stream, but it may take me a little while to unwind the live stream. So there's also that. So I'm going to stop talking, head back in and work on winding the live stream down. And if anybody wants to stay in while I'm walking back in, because I've been sitting out here in the Tesla mobile because the Wi-Fi was a little sketchy there for a minute.
Okay, thanks everybody. Bye.
Thank
Take care.
you
Talk to you
for
later.
coming. Take care, everyone.
Yeah, see you later, guys. And reach out to me if anyone needs anything.